Well, welcome. I'm so happy that you all joined us tonight to learn about One Simple Change. My name is Carmen Maxwell, and I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am a certified health coach. So I've been learning about nutrition for a number of years, really, but 11 years ago when I first started, our family really first started to make some changes to experience better health. It was really impacting my family's health that drove me to do the research and learn as much as I could about how I could do that naturally. And so really, I'm just excited that I'm able to share some of what I've learned along the way with all of you. And, good health means different things to different people. And there's so many things that you can do to really impact your health and, make and feel better every day. You can exercise, you can drink more water, you can get more sleep. That's a big one. Watch your stress level. You can keep your environment clean of harmful chemicals and things like that. And then, of course, there's nutrition. And nutrition is really what we're going to focus on for the most part tonight, because the fact is that 75% of chronic disease and illness can be prevented with good nutrition. And isn't that awesome that that's such a huge number, 75%? So really what we put in our bodies, in our mouths every day has a huge, huge impact on our health. And, the road to good health really is fruits and vegetables. There's so many studies out there that show that the common denominator when it comes to health, the healthiest people in the world eat the most fruits and vegetables. And so it's very, very important that we get a lot every day. And here's why. Oxidative stress is a process that happens in our body. It happens in everyone's bodies, not just mine or not just young or old or anything like that. It's everybody. It's a process of, when we eat food and then our body turns that food into energy, there's a byproduct. So it's kind of like when you're driving your car and you put gas in, your car goes, and then it produces exhaust, right? Well, our body produces a form of exhaust, which is called oxidative stress or free radicals. You guys maybe have heard of free radicals before. And those free radicals or that oxidative stress really, attacks our cells 10,000 times a day. This oxidative stress hits our healthy cells. And so we really have to do something to protect our health, because when our cells are continuously attacked by the oxidative stress, what happens is they mutate, they die, and that it really leads to aging and disease across the board. And so we want to protect our cells. And how do we do that? Well, with antioxidants. Antioxidants from fruits and vegetables act like sort of like a force field around our cells, really protecting them from the damage that oxidative stress does. And so remember, we can't get away from oxidative stress. We have to eat in order to produce energy, and that we're going to have oxidative stress as a byproduct of that. But what we can do is we can consume a lot of fruits and vegetables, and by doing that, we're getting a lot of antioxidants in our body, which is protecting. Okay, so that's really, really important. And I love this picture here because it really gives you a picture of what the difference is between eating an apple and taking a multivitamin. A lot of people have turned to multivitamins as an answer to bridge the gap in their health, because they know that whatever it is that they're eating on a daily basis isn't meeting the needs when it comes to health. We're supposed to eat 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And really, that is extremely difficult to do. Think about 9 servings of fruits and vegetables times 7 days in a week, times however many, members of your family there are. That's a lot of fruits and vegetables to, purchase and then chop and clean and then actually chew to get in their body. And then, I don't even want to think about the kids, right? So, most of us do the best that we can. And many of us turn to multivitamins, like I said, in order to bridge that gap. But the truth is that if you look at the label underneath the apple here, you'll see that there's a label of a multivitamin. Well, a multivitamin maybe has about 20, 30 ingredients in there, and they're all isolated, which means they're by themselves. So there's vitamin A in there, there's vitamin B, there's vitamin C, etc. In there, but they're all by themselves and they're all isolated and mega dosed. And that's not how our bodies were designed to get nutrition. Really, our bodies were designed to get nutrition in a tiny little amounts, but of a lot of different plant chemicals, phytonutrients. And this picture here, so when you see the phytonutrients, this right here is just 400 of the 10,000 plus plant nutrients, phytochemicals that are in fruits and vegetables or in an apple. And so think about that. Just this right here is just 400. We need like 30 more pages to show everything that was in an apple. So there's no possible way that you can get what in a vitamin pill, what you would get in actual whole food, an apple or, grapes or broccoli or whatever it is. So we really don't have a vitamin deficiency in our country or in the world. Well, some places in the world, they probably have vitamin deficiencies, but for us, here in the United States, we don't have a vitamin deficiency. What we have is a whole food deficiency. We need to eat more fruits and vegetables. And the problem is that we're just not, look at this, 1 cup of fruit and 1.5 cups of vegetables daily. And the truth about the statistic is that they are including ketchup and French fries as vegetables. They count pizza sauce. They're counting pizza sauce as a vegetable. And, you and I know, anybody who's a parent knows that ketchup does not count as a vegetable. And, that's not the same as eating a tomato. And, a tomato is what you want to eat, not, anyway. So it's sad. It's sad and kind of scary to think about what the state of our health is, but I get it. It's not easy. I have a family and it can be hard to get those kids to eat fruits and vegetables in the number of servings and the amounts and the variety that they're supposed to get. And it's hard for me to do it, and I'm really proactive and motivated with my health, but it's hard for me to do it consistently. And, sometimes I travel or whatever, and it just, it's not easy. So I just really kind of want to share with you all just my family's journey over these last 11 years. And this is my family here. So in the top left corner, you're going to see my husband, Jesse, and he's an elementary school teacher. And and then my daughter Addie is next to him eating a salad, and then down below is my daughter Ella. So they are 12 years old and 10 years old and 12 years old now. So Addie with eating the salad is 10, and Ella down, the baby in the picture, is 12. And that picture that you see with the swollen, poor little pink eye, that was taken the day that we learned, or the weekend that we learned how to make one simple change with our health that really has made all of the difference. And this little baby, she was a year old at the time, and she was sick all the time. I mean, we were at the pediatrician's office once a month with sick visits, and we were so frustrated with that. Nobody was sleeping well, and we were all just, I just wanted my baby to be healthy. I just didn't want to be at the doctor's. I didn't want her to be on antibiotics and all of those things. And so, we were struggling with her health. And, for me, I was exhausted all the time. It was hard for me to get through the day without a nap. I was drinking caffeine pretty much all day long. And then, I would fall into bed at night. My husband was overweight, and, we just, we thought we were normal, and we actually thought we were healthy. But the truth is that, we didn't really understand that, what we were experiencing was not health. And so when my sister shared this one simple change that we could all do in order to really flood our bodies with fruits and vegetables, that made all the difference to us. We all said yes, and just really started to experience some wonderful changes. My little baby, who is sick all the time, went from once a month sick visits to once a year well visits, and she's 12 years old now. And she gets a cold here and there, but really, she is never sick for more than, a day or two. And that's a huge blessing for us. My daughter, in the top right corner, she was a Juice Plus baby, and meaning that I used this nutrition throughout my pregnancy, and it was just wonderful. She eats everything. She's been to the pediatrician's office one time when she was less than a year old, and never since. And she's 10 years old now. So 10 years with really actually 9 years with no sick visits for her, and just one in her entire 10 years. And we just have experienced such better health. I'm 41 years old, and I just feel so much better in my 40s than I ever did in my 20s. And that's not normal. That is not how most people experience health and life. Most people, the years go by and they add, aches and pains and things like that. But for our family, we've just kind of felt better as every year has passed by. And I'm just so, so grateful for this nutrition that we've been able to get. And so I mentioned it was called Juice Plus, and Juice Plus has just been such a simple solution for our family. And really what it is it's just whole food nutrition. It's plants, fruits, and vegetables. Here you see 45 different fruits and veggies that our family gets every single day before we leave the house in the morning. We eat our Juice Plus, we swallow our capsules or eat our chewables and drink a smoothie, and we're leaving the house with 45 different plants in our bodies every day. It's whole food nutrition. The fruits and vegetables are juiced and then dried at a very low temperature, which is, and then they're put into a capsule or a chewable. And it's just been such a blessing. It's been so simple. And the really awesome thing is that as we've been on Juice Plus for the last 11 years, we've consistently added more fruits and vegetables to our diet, so that we really are not only getting all of this great nutrition before we leave the house, but we're eating such a wider variety than we ever did before, my kids included. And as a parent of one picky kid and one not picky kid, when I can get that picky kid to eat good food, I just feel so much better. And it's just really a load off to know that she's getting this nutrition every day, even when our diets aren't perfect. And so I mentioned the shakes. We have a shake every day too, and this is our Juice Plus Complete, and they are so delicious. I love my shakes. We all have shakes in the morning, and it's just such an easy way to get more fruits and vegetables in. How cool is it that I can start my day with all of this, broccoli, alfalfa, radish, amaranth, quinoa, millet, all of this nutrition. And plus I'm putting in fruit and I'm putting in greens and things like that. And it just really tastes good. And, I don't have to fight with anybody to drink it, because everybody loves it. And it's totally whole food. All of the Juice Plus products have a whole food label, so it looks like your peanut butter and not like a vitamin. It doesn't have a supplement label. It has like the same nutrition facts label that you would have on your peanut butter or a bag of apples or carrots. That's because it is all whole food. It's not isolated vitamins or anything like that. It's not a supplement. It's food. The shakes are naturally low fat. They're low in sugar. They're low glycemic. And what that means is that the energy that you get when you drink the shake is, released slowly, so that you're not getting those spikes and then those crashes. And, the shakes or low glycemic foods really are willpower. That's where willpower comes from. So I don't know if any of you, at 3 o'clock kind of hit a wall and, need a chocolate fix or a sugar fix of some type to kind of keep going. That's probably because your blood sugar has crashed from whatever it was that you had for lunch. And so, or maybe you get that at 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning, it's probably the same thing. So, when you drink or eat food that is a low glycemic, then it's going to keep you fuller for longer, and you're not going to have that blood sugar spike and crash, which means that you're not going to have those cravings for sugar or chocolate or those types of foods. And so low glycemic is actually really important. And then it's gluten-free. There's no animal products, all whole food, non-GMO. And, the protein in there is all from plants. There's no animal protein, like I said. And there's a lot of fiber. So it's got about 11 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber, I think. And just so it's just really does a great job of keeping you full for a long time. And then our capsules, like I said, are all whole food. They have the whole food label. It's just those fruits and vegetables that have been juiced and dried. And so what you're left with is just those phytonutrients. They're all non-GMO, dairy-free and gluten-free. And the NSF certification is so important. I don't know if you guys really understand that the supplement and vitamin, industry is not regulated at all. So, first, in order for something to kind of be recalled from the market, you have to show harm. So you don't actually have to demonstrate safety. And there's really no guarantee that what is actually in the bottle is, on the label, so they've done so many studies where they test products and, pretty much across the board. I mean, you guys have probably seen them. They were doing them at Walgreens and Target and GNC, and they were pulling things off the shelf. And basically across the board, they didn't match. And so that third-party certification is so important, because otherwise you really just don't know what you're going to get. And so with Juice Plus, we have that third-party certification that guarantees that not only is what is in the bottle on the label, but what's on the label is in the bottle. So we know that when the label says, you know, broccoli and kale and cabbage and parsley, you know, that's what's in the actual capsule. And if you open up a bottle of capsules and you smell them, you're going to smell broccoli. I mean, it's pretty neat that, you know, you can, that you know that is whole food. And then the clinical research. This was really what attracted me. You know, when I first learned about this, I had that little baby. She was 14 months old. She was sick all the time. And I was a super protective mama, and I was not going to give anything to my baby that I wasn't absolutely sure was the real deal. And so the clinical research is really what really convinced me and made me feel not only safe, but really good about giving it to her at such a young age. And, you know, the research that has been done on Juice Plus is there's over 35 published research studies. It's all third party. So Juice Plus does not do the research themselves. It's done by, you know, really well-respected universities and medical facilities around the world, and you can see them here. And it's all peer-reviewed, published in peer-reviewed journals, and just it's very, very quality and well-respected research journals and research. And this is what it shows, is basically that when you eat Juice Plus, you're going to have better cardiovascular wellness. Your inflammation in your body is going to go down. And that shows up in things like, you know, you get out of bed in the morning and you have less aches and pains. Maybe you recover better from exercise, asthma symptoms, arthritis, you know, any of those things. But it also has to do with, you know, you can have, there's so much inflammation that's going on inside of our bodies that we're not even feeling, you know, and it leads to heart disease and even cancer and so many other things. So inflammation in your body, no matter if you can feel it or not, is not a good thing. And so if we can do something that gets that inflammation down, that's a very good thing. And so we know that when you eat Juice Plus, your inflammation in your body goes down. This supports the quality of life in ovarian cancer survivors. This study was really amazing. What they did was they looked at ovarian cancer survivors, and they put them on two different diets. One was eating 11 different servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. And the other group was eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables and drinking the Juice Plus Complete shake and eating the Juice Plus Orchard and Garden Blend every day. And so what they did is they looked at several markers of health over time. And what they found was that the group that was eating Juice Plus and the Complete Shake and only 5 servings of fruits and vegetables did as well or better in some cases than the group that was eating all of those fruits and vegetables. And we know that eating that many fruits and vegetables, 10 or 11 servings a day, is hard to sustain. And 5 is very doable. You know, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables is very, very doable. And so, you know, if you can get the same or even better health results from eating 5 plus Juice Plus, you know, then you're able to do that every day versus, you know, maybe getting 10 servings of fruits and vegetables once a week or a couple times a month. You know, you're going to be a lot better off. So that was just a really neat study that they did. They looked at insulin resistance in overweight boys, and they found that, you know, when they put Juice Plus into the body of these adolescent boys, that they had less belly fat, and they had greater insulin resistance, or less insulin resistance. It was really a neat study, and that was published in the Journal of Pediatrics. That's a really neat one. Lung health in smokers, supports healthy skin and gums. You know, it's, you know, sometimes you don't care maybe about what's happening on the inside of your body. So I can tell you that, you know, Juice Plus also makes you prettier, so that's nice. Supports your immune health. You know, that was something that I was really looking for when I first learned about this information. You know, I just wanted my baby to not be sick as much, but I've learned so much more about the immune system since then. And your immune system is really responsible for, you know, cancer. The people who get cancer just have less healthy cells than they do cancer cells. So if your immune system is working the way that it should be, then those natural killer cells, which are part of your immune system, are going to go out and they're going to destroy the cancer cells. And that's what we want, right? But when our immune system's all out of whack and all out of balance, then it's not doing what it's supposed to. And so not only, do we have the colds and flus and the bronchitis and all of those things, but we also have diseases like cancer, which are opportunistic based on, the health and balance of your immune system. Helps to protect our DNA. If your DNA is protected, you're going to have healthier cells in your body. And so that's anti-aging. There's so many benefits from that. Reduces that oxidative stress that we were talking about. That's a byproduct of just making energy. If we can get that down, then our cells aren't, getting as many hits a day. And so that's really, really important. And then absorbed by the body, this last one, it seems like, okay, well, what's that mean? Well, basically that just means that it's called bioavailability. And this is really the first thing that you should look for when you are thinking about taking anything, is just when you swallow it, does it get into your body? Does your body recognize it, and does it use it? And so we know that when we take Juice Plus, when I swallow my Juice Plus, my body says, oh, I just had, apples and cherries and kale and broccoli and parsley and all of the things that are in Juice Plus. And so we know that that's happened. So that's very, very important. And then we have one very large study that's currently going on. It's called the Children's Health Study. And it's just wonderful because, really, our company cares so much about families and just really getting families healthy, that it actually offers Juice Plus free to kids, which is really incredible. So kids between the ages of 4 years old at the youngest, all the way through college age, can actually get Juice Plus for free when they have a sponsoring adult. So if a parent decides that they want to take control of their health and get healthier and add Juice Plus, then they can sponsor one of their kids, and that child will get it free. So mom can sponsor a child, dad can sponsor a child, grandma can sponsor a child. It doesn't actually have to be a parent. But look at the results that we're seeing through the Children's Health Study. It's really incredible. They're going to the doctor less often. They're eating more fruits and vegetables. They're missing less school. They're consuming less fast food and soft drinks. They have a greater awareness of their health. How incredible is it for us to teach our kids how to be healthy, and then they can take those tools that we're giving them into adulthood and then teach it to their kids. So this can really affect future generations, which really to me is the heart of why I share this every day. And so the Children's Health Study is just really, really incredible. And we can tell you more about that if you're interested in learning. And now I would just love for Steve and Lori to share your stories. I'm excited for you to share it. So you just might want to unmute yourself and go ahead.
Okay. Well, I hurt my back probably about 4 years ago, and I was out of work for probably about 4 months. And before that, I was just tired and burned the candle at both ends. And then I went back to work, and I was just sore and just a mess. I was fueling myself with caffeine every day and trying to stay awake. And then at night, I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't hardly roll over and get out of bed in the morning. And then my sister-in-law, Linda, she introduced us to Juice Plus, and I thought it might just be like another vitamin over the counter, and I was wrong. It definitely, it's 10 months later here, and I feel so much better. I got more energy. My back feels awesome. I mean, my wife can't believe how, I can get up and do the things that I couldn't. I was hurting pretty bad until I got moving when I wasn't taking Juice Plus. And then I'm doing things like I wouldn't been able to do, before, just because my back hurts so bad with the family. And the other day I actually went with my youngest, 12-year-old, Lindsay, and went to Cedar Point, had a daughter daddy day with my brother and his daughter. and we had a blast. And I just don't think I've been able to ride some of the rides and recover, like I did, because I really wasn't sore maybe for a couple of days, but I probably have been sore for a week or a month or whatever, because it just used to really beat me up. And me and Carmen actually was talking about the mean streak, and they're actually taking that out, and I didn't ride that because that was probably going to be pushing it. But anyway, so I just think that it's changed my life a lot as far as how I feel, and I got a lot more energy, and just wanted to, there's a lot of stories out there that people can see that it's done a lot of favors for other families. And I want to just thank Linda for introducing that to our family. And I'll turn it over here to Lori.
Okay. Well, again, following Steve, my sister is the one who introduced us to Juice Plus. And as far back as, gosh, Linda, 8 years ago, something like that, when you started with the boys. And it was always just kind of this, oh, yeah, there's those gummy things, and kids try it and they liked it, but it was nothing that, we ever did anything consistently with. So, kind of just continued our lives, working, as much fuel as we put into our bodies, we were burning, and it wasn't always the best fuel. A lot of times it's fast food because you're running kids here and there, and definitely working long hours. So a lot of fatigue. I experienced a lot of fatigue and a lot of poor energy levels. And so we kind of just watched Linda on and off with the Juice Plus, more for the kids. And she had even, I think it was maybe a Christmas, she had given me a couple of, when the complete shakes came in, more of the containers. I think that was a Christmas gift one year. And I don't, to be very honest, I think maybe we made a couple shakes and that was about it. So I think it's very easy for us to lose sight of that health. And I work in the healthcare industry, and I have for 20 plus years. And so I see the effects of this poor nutrition, and every single day. I'm a speech pathologist, so I work in the hospital setting. So I see people who are unhealthy every day, and that's who I work with. And so that, coupled with the fact that, this last year has been a rather draining year, a year of change for us. Not one simple change, but many kind of crazy changes with job changes. We moved twice in the last year, which has been a huge stress, not only for Steve and I, but for our kids, and changing schools and dealing with some other health issues with our children. And so this one simple change kind of rings very true to me, because in thinking of where our lives are and how we've changed so many things that have been crazy changes, I think that if for the last 10 months, if I hadn't been on Juice Plus, I don't know that I would be able to be talking right now to you, because it added that extra boost, I think, that we needed. And I'm very anxious to see how it's going to continue to change, because we really have just started taking this very seriously within the last couple months. So I'm anxious to see where this is going to take us. So our journey is just starting, and I feel like my story is going to continue to evolve. But it's definitely, for me, it's kind of been the spark that I've needed, because, not only physical health, but mental health has been a huge issue. And seeing this company and getting involved with this company, thanks to my sister, I see something that's very positive. It is, when Linda told me about one of the conferences that she went to, and she's like, these people are happy, and, everybody is trying to do good things for other people. And I'm just like, wow, working in a hospital setting, you don't always get that. So I was very encouraged to get online and look some things up. And then I was actually able to go to the Buckeye Summit, which was very eye-opening. Just to see just the whole community of people coming together to try to benefit other people, and having that main goal of, increasing nutrition and just finding that spark within your family so that you can continue to grow it. And so we're excited to be on this journey, and we hope that we'll continue to see the positive changes within our family as well. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It just really makes my heart smile to hear, the benefits that you guys are having because Linda shared with you. So Linda, if you want to share your story, I think that would be awesome.
All right, figure this out. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, my story begins when I was 19 years old at the end of my sophomore year in college. I was given the devastating diagnosis of cancer. All of a sudden, I was thrust into this foreign world of medicine with tests, hospital visits, surgery, doctors, and radiation treatments. My mind was racing with questions, especially, how did this happen to me? I was no longer a happy, carefree teenager, only focused on my social life, classes, homework, like most normal students. At that time when it happened to me, I just felt like this was huge inconvenience. It just interrupted my normal life. But I never for a moment thought that I was terminal. And I really believe I owe that to my positive young mindset. But however, as I grew, my cancer continued to be a part of me, even though I was cured. I know that sounds funny, but every year as I grew older, my worry increased. I always felt like in the back of my mind, this would come back at some point. I didn't know when, but in the future it would. I felt like the reoccurrence was inevitable and it was totally out of my control. But I moved forward with my life. I got married to Randy, and eventually we started our family in my early 40s. We have 2 sons, Anthony and Adam, who are 13 and 11. But when they were younger, we ran into struggles with picky eaters and food allergies and texture issues. So when I learned about one simple change that would flood their bodies with nutritional fruits and vegetables, I was so excited, and that was Juice Plus. They loved the taste of the chewables, and I was so happy to be able to give them a better nutritional foundation than I felt that I had as a child.
Oh, I think we lost you.
Okay,
You got muted. Whoops.
okay, am I back?
Sorry.
Okay, am I back? Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So as a parent, I think we seek solutions for our kids sometimes, but then we don't always do it for ourselves, and that was absolutely me. So I continued to put my health kind of on a back burner for the next 8 years or so. So last year, I noticed that I was gaining weight. I was having sinus infections a lot, vertigo, just sluggish and just generally tired, like a lot of people. And then on my annual, we do a physical annually, and all of a sudden my inflation markers were high, which is a huge red flag, as what we just learned. So I decided I needed to kick into action and make some changes. So the first thing I did was embrace that simple solution that had been working so well for my boys all those years in the past, Juice Plus. So the past year I've experienced more energy. I've only had 1 sinus infection, and I've lost 20 pounds, which is a huge bonus. But my biggest aha moment, I think, for me was really realizing that that there's a huge connection between nutrition and disease. And I never really put that together until this past year. So I now know that I do have control over my health, that I can, by fueling my bodies with nutritious food and practicing healthy habits, I can change my course. And I want to live my life boldly. I don't want to have to continue to be afraid and thinking, when's the next shoe going to drop. So I'm working on this on a daily basis, and I want to continue to be as healthy as possible for both, my family and myself. So thank you. Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Linda. And I remember meeting you 9 years ago, and you really did get it for your kids, but for whatever reason you didn't get it for yourself. And so the fact that we all do that, I think we all kind of push our health off and think, okay, let's I want to invest in my kids because we'll make any sacrifice for them. But really, we have to really focus on our health too, because if we don't have our health, then like you said, Steve, like you wouldn't have been able to go to Cedar Point with your daughter. I mean, you would have lost that experience or had a different or limited one. And it's just, we want to be the best that we can be so that we can be the best that we can be, right? Anyway, Dr. Richard DuBois is, an incredible physician. He's a former president of the Georgia Society of Internal Medicine, the Infectious Disease Society of Georgia, and the Medical Association of Atlanta. And he's just really a very forward-thinking doctor that had really saw Juice Plus as a way to really help his patients. And we have thousands and thousands of doctors around the world that share Juice Plus with their patients because it is such a simple solution. And we know that behavior changes, it can be very hard. It can be hard to go from not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables to eating 14, 13 servings a day, right? That's hard. But Juice Plus is easy. And Dr. DuBois recognized that. And he said that after looking at all the research done on Juice Plus, I recognize that there's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been shown to do all of those things in the human body. And so I just want to leave you with that. And thank you for taking the time to listen to us share our stories tonight. We're so excited that you were able to do that. And if you have any questions, please, don't hesitate to follow up with Linda, Lori, and Steve, or myself. And we would love to talk with you further.